usually one partner will be a little bit more strict or a little bit more conservative about, how things need to go.
Hi, this is Peter Kowalke, and today I'm talking with Jeremi McManus. First of all, thank you for joining us, Jeremy. I really
Yeah, of
appreciate it.
course. Great to be here with you, Peter. Thank you.
Kids, it can often
Hmm.
be a big issue
It's a
in a
big one.
relationship. You can have different styles of parenting and different expectations. And so,
Yep.
what have you found to be some of the biggest issues with couples around kids, and what are some of the ways that couples can avoid those issues?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones is discipline. So what's their discipline styles and like how do you address them? Usually one partner will be a little bit more strict or a little bit more conservative about, how things need to go. The other partner might be a little bit more open and more flexible. And they usually kind of bump into, sometimes they bump into one partner playing a little bit bad cop and the other good cop. Sometimes, one person will kind of feel like they're doing the lifting more, like carrying the heavy burden around discipline. And so that comes back into that same sort of pattern that we talked about a few moments ago, where really creating space for each other to say, hey, I want to better understand where you're coming from. Like your style around discipline just feels different than mine. And can you tell me a little bit more about that? Or, I really want to understand that. And even using that listening or that empathy exercise I shared with you earlier, that can be really helpful to get a better understanding. And then also like, what are some ways that we can both give a little bit, because I want to join you and say, I get that for you, it's important that we're a little bit stricter, a little bit more conservative with our kids. And as that understanding occurs, the other person's likely to say, I get that maybe I need to loosen up sometimes, or maybe I get a little bit too overboard or too strict. And that tends to be the magic, or tends to be the kind of the opening, with couples is when, and again, I want to reiterate, this is like varsity stuff, right? Like this doesn't happen in one conversation. It takes practice, it takes either counseling or practice or just doing it. And that'll get partners to a place where they can meet each other and compromise.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me,
Oh, it's my
Jeremy.
pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I know you're very busy with your practice. For those who are interested in learning more about Jeremy and his practice, and maybe even becoming a client of his, they can go to sfrelationshipcoaching.com. That's Jeremy's site where you can find out more about his practice. So thank you very much for taking the time to talk with me, Jeremy. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, Peter. Great talking to you.